Derek Lyons to the Dark Side Chats.
Oh, thank you very much, Lord Bruticus. It's very, very kind of you to invite me on your wonderful, cast on YouTube. Thank you.
Well, you're more than welcome. It's an honor to have you. Well, you appeared twice in the final scene, the medal ceremony of the original Star Wars film, A New Hope, as a Rebel Honor Guard and medal bearer. Can you briefly describe your role for us?
Well, yes, it was comprised of two roles. I was chosen by the assistant called Terry Madden, and he actually kind of asked me if I could do this, and I said yes, obviously. This is my first role. I first played the medal bearer, which obviously was consisting of two medal bearers. One guy who I don't know his name actually, who goes forward with a medal, and then it gives it to, I think it goes to Han Solo. And I'm the second medal bearer who comes into shot, and especially with widescreen nowadays and the digital enhanced ones, you can see me a bit better. So that's my head coming into shot. I'm the gentleman who gives General Dodona, played by Alex McCrindle, I give him the medal, and then he takes it, gives it to Princess Leia, Carrie Fisher, and then obviously that medal which I gave, which I carry, goes to Mark Hamill, Luke Skywalker. So obviously it was my first film. I was 18 years old. It was quite nerve-wracking, and to be up there on that stage in front of all the other supporting artists looking at me and maybe wishing that I get it wrong. It was quite hard because I had to hit certain marks at a certain time. Obviously, there was no sound on the day. They didn't record any sound for that scene. It was on H stage at Shepperton Studios, and obviously I had to hit the mark at the right time, and I did it every time and had no problems. And I'm pretty good with my timing, and it's been like that all through my history of working as an actor in the film business. I've got this good memory. It's almost as though I was meant to be in the movie business. But it was very nerve-wracking, and obviously I had to hit that mark, and that was the first bit I did, obviously, as a medal bearer. Terry Madden then said to me, we're going to put this mask, this kind of helmet on you, so it disguises your face, and we're going to have you as one of the guards on the left. In those days, it wasn't called the Masasi Temple Guard or Rebel Honor Guard, it just was the guard. So it was myself and the guy to my left. The guy to my left who played the Rebel Honor Guard was Lorne Peterson, who is the gentleman who is the chief model maker for Lucasfilm. And I did chat with him, and he had a beard then, and it was American accent. I didn't realise that he was the model maker then. I found out since then, only recently, that he was. And funny enough, I actually signed, there was only one signed photograph of the two Rebel Honor Guards in the world, and obviously with myself, my signature, and Lorne Peterson's signature. So that'd be worth quite a lot of money now, and I know the person who's got it. But yeah, so I just had to stand there, and when obviously the heroes come through the sliding doors, which were pulled by a couple of the props guys. There was no electronics in those days, and obviously I stood there to attention as I should, as a guard, and make sure that I didn't move, because I had that kind of big staff thing which I had to hold, and that was it really. I was actually not only in those scenes, I was also in the briefing room when General Dodona actually talks about the Death Star. I'm actually sitting at the very front, and if you see that, look at that scene from our point of view, looking at the screen, you see me scratching my head at the end, and that's me at the front.
Okay, right, I remember that.
Yeah, and the other scene which I'm in briefly was the bit where Princess Leia and General Dodona is looking at that kind of circular map thing, and there's this perspex glass where the guys are doing the kind of markings on to find out the flight path and all that stuff. I'm actually standing behind that as well, so you can see me in some black and white shots, but it's just the back of my head. So I was actually in 4 bits of the movie. It was just quite fun, But yeah, it was good. That's all really. I mean, I could tell you a little story about Carrie Fisher. During the scene, obviously, the set's made from wood and plaster of Paris and stuff. And I remember Carrie, and I quite fancied her at the time actually, because I was quite young, you know.
Of course.
Shy. She was like she was grabbing her foot and like a bit of discomfort. She had a bit of discomfort, and I said to her, "Sorry, excuse me." I said, "You okay?" She says, "Well, I got this problem, so I can see my foot." I said, "Let me look." So I went down and I actually, like that tail of the lion and the kind of piece of wood in its foot, I pulled out this little piece of splinter which was in her foot. I can't remember which foot it was. Anyway, I stood up and I pulled it out, and she looked at me and she went, kissed me on the cheek, and she said, "Oh, thank you so much, Derek." And I went so red. And I was so embarrassed. And I actually say to people, I was red as the Imperial Guard. She's very sweet, you know. But I got on well with her and with Mark Campbell really well. We bought the same date, the 25th of September. And Peter Mayhew, we used to go and drink in the pub outside, because it's very hot summer that year, and we used to drink and have a ploughman's lunch together. And I'm actually going to see Peter for the first time in all those years in June the 5th.
Oh, wonderful. Okay.
Yeah, and there's a little surprise we're going to give him at the time, and it relates to the medal which he never got.
Oh, very good. Very good.
Yeah, that's kind of secret. So.
Well, it's not a secret now, but this episode.
You won't hear this.
That's all right. Right now, it's the beginning of February. This episode won't be online until about the middle of March. But as of then, it won't be.
That's cool.
Well,
He's great. I've got some really good I've got some really good photographs actually of myself. I think you may have seen them on my website, of me, Mark, and Peter. But really great film to work on. I mean, Star Wars has travelled with me from 1976 till now, and it's always been whatever job I've had as an actor or just working in a restaurant. People always the kind of thing about Star Wars always comes up. It's like, it's fantastic. But I'm a big sci-fi fan, and I love Star Wars very much.
I've noticed on Facebook you're quite the Star Wars and sci-fi fan, which is very, very cool, because it seems really rare to come across a Star Wars cast member who is also a fan of the series, and I think that's really cool about you as a person. Well, moving along. Oh, by the way, speaking of Peter Mayhew, I had the pleasure of meeting him at Comic-Con in San Diego last summer. Very, very great guy.
Yeah, he's he's a gentle giant, really. He really is a sweet man. Yeah, I love him very much. I look forward to seeing him.
Well, in addition to being an honorary member of the Rebel Legion organization, you were also bestowed honorary membership in the 501st Legion in September of last year, 2009. That presentation took place in Germany, so I was wondering if you could tell us a little bit about that event.
Yes, well, I was actually going over to Germany for another event, for a charity event in Bochum, for this Christian charity thing, which I kind of got involved with. And I got this phone call just beforehand from a friend of mine, Marcus Rao, who's the commander of the White Shadow Squad. TK2902 is the code name, and he said to me, "Oh, we want to take you out for an evening meal on when you arrive on the I think it's on the 17th." I said, "Yeah, that's fine. That'd be great." He said, "We'll get the White Shadow Squad and we'll book a restaurant." I said, "Fine." So I got to just off airport, went to the hotel, got myself together, and then I was picked up, taken to this wonderful restaurant, like a beer keller, German beer keller. Sitting there having a beautiful meal with my friends, a lot of people I've known for a few years now, and I was sitting at the table, and you can see it on YouTube actually. I was sitting there, suddenly most of my friends had disappeared from the table, and then suddenly there's all these guys dressed in costume as the Sith Lord and stormtroopers and bounty hunters and all around me, and I was quite shocked by it all. I was, what's happening? And then they suddenly brought this package, and they said, "Stand up," and I started opening it, and then I opened it, and I found this beautiful laser plaque with the 501st my name on it, and I was like, I made a little joke about it, but I was really quite taken back by it. It really I was quite tearful actually, but I held my tears back because the Germans don't like you crying in front of other guys. But I was so it was such a wonderful experience to get that, and it really, it's more than if I got an Oscar. It's more important to me than anything, to getting that.
A very humbling experience, I'm sure.